Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. A wild game. There were storylines that just flipped mid-game like 3 different times. It started out a disaster. Tampa going right up and down the field. You get a iffy call on Olave, scoop and score. Could it have been helmet to helmet? Could it have been incomplete? It was neither. Tampa picks it up and scores. And it's 17-0 right out of the chute. But then the Saints scored 27 points in the second quarter. And just a ridiculous run of quality offense, getting some turnovers, catching some breaks, and you're in the lead. You've got control of the game. You're thinking, okay, well, Rattler looks okay now. They've got him comfortable, and you've kind of taken control of the game. It looked like it was going to get away from you. Okay, well, let's finish. Well, they did not finish. They lost the second half 27-0. And I think at that point, the storyline shifted away from, okay, what do you have in Rattler? Is that exciting? Is that something they can build on? They look okay in the division standings. All right, let's settle in and get ready for a home game in 4 days. To, you've lost 4 in a row. You're 2-4. Your starting quarterback's hurt for a couple more weeks. You're on a short week. The fan base is ticked off. And, oh, by the way, the foundation of what this era of the franchise was built on is crumbling. That's the defense. The story here is not Spencer Rattler's debut, 22 of 40, 2 picks, a touchdown, and 243 yards, also 27 yards running. That's not the story. The story's not really, well, Tyrann Mathieu got hurt, and Olave went out with a concussion, and they've got a bunch of injuries. The story is that Tampa Bay scored 51 points, Baker Mayfield threw for 325 yards, and Tampa ran it for 277 yards. The story here is that the New Orleans Saints have the worst defense in terms of yards per game allowed in the National Football League. And if there was one thing you could always count on with Dennis Allen at head coach, it's that the defense was going to be good. And I'm sorry, but injuries to Cesar Ruiz and Eric McCoy and Chris Olave and Derek Carr and Taysom Hill are not allowing Tampa to run the ball for 277 yards. They're not allowing Baker Mayfield to throw for 325 and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, you got 3 picks. Great. You do have good players in the secondary. But the defense is getting gashed. You got propped up, and maybe give yourself some credit. That's fine, but you did get propped up by red zone inefficiencies from the Chiefs last week, where it looks okay, you only gave up 26, but they went up and down the field on you. Couldn't get a stop late against Atlanta. And so for 3 weeks, your defense has faltered, and that's Dennis Allen's calling card. And if you don't have that, what do you have? It's like the Office Space scene where they ask, what would you say you do here? I don't think any of us believe that Dennis Allen's had a finely tuned offense. He's finally got the staff he wants. There are injuries on that side of the ball, whatever, okay. I don't think anybody's here to say that the drafting has been sensational, that the game day management's been perfect. I don't think anyone's here to suggest that. What your main role was as the head coach of this team is to make sure the defense is at an elite level. No one was expecting the Saints to be world beaters on offense. They just wanted to be top 15, top 18 in offense with a great defense. And it's not a great defense. Cam's old. DeMario Davis is old. Tyrann Mathieu's getting old. You're not getting anything out of some of your young players like Isaiah Foskey. So you're aging a little bit. Granderson's good. Young's been good. Werner got hurt. I get it. But what you watched on Sunday is unacceptable. And it felt more to me like the foundation slipping away than it did, you had a backup quarterback and he couldn't do anything. You only scored 20 offensive points because you ran a punt back, and the defense just kind of got tired and gave up 20 points in the fourth quarter. It to me looked like the foundation buckling. And to me, it feels like this era is slipping away. I don't really enjoy calling for people's jobs. Like, that's not, I think there are some people that love the hot take nature of that, and it generates clicks and gets a lot of buzz, and it gets people galvanized because it's always, things are always going to be great right when you fire the coach. And I think Dennis Allen has been an absolute asset in the Saints organization for a decade and a half. But I just don't see a way out of this. There are a lot of factors at play here that include injuries and some bad breaks. But let's be honest. Last year, you beat the dregs of the league at a quarterback spot in Tommy DeVito and Tyson Bagent and an aging Tannehill. And like, you beat as bad as the league could offer you. And this year now, you're playing some good teams. The Buccaneers are a good offense. Kansas City's a good offense. And you can't stop them. And now we see what Dallas has been reduced to. You thought that was a great win. I would suggest maybe let's pump the brakes on that. I don't see a strength here anymore. I don't see a direction here anymore. And I see a city that's about to throw its hands up. And we all know what's coming on Thursday. It's going to be a weird, weird environment in that Superdome. Because I don't think there's a unified stance among the Who Dat Nation on Sean Payton. I think there are plenty of Saints fans who just so much appreciate the golden era of the franchise. I think there are so many fans that feel like he quit on the franchise. I think there are so many that are in between that and kind of indifferent because he's not here anymore. But that usually a fan base is united. If you were in Tiger Stadium last night or Saturday night, nobody was divided there. It's a one-track mind. And right now, you don't have that in New Orleans. And regarding Sean Payton, I think you're starting to get it regarding Dennis Allen. And if things start going south on Thursday, that might be it. If Sean Payton comes in there with a rookie quarterback with mediocre numbers and hammers or hangs big numbers on this defense with that coach and those players in that building, I don't know how you can recover from that. That would be 5 in a row. The old coach rubbing it in your face, and the one pillar that at least everyone could point to and say, well, at least that's consistent, may be washing away. That's what it felt like to me on Sunday. Y'all know me. Like, if on Friday we're talking about a 31-10 win over Denver, well, we'll change the conversation. And I'll say, okay, they're staying alive. Good for them. I'm just telling you how I feel today. I'm just telling you how I felt watching that game yesterday. I felt like we were watching the beginning of the end. And you could tell me that the beginning of the end was last year, and you could, whatever. That's all semantics. I'm just telling you how it felt to me. And it felt real. It felt tangible to me. And I don't know how Dennis Allen's going to handle it. I feel like he's going to pin the blame on himself as he did yesterday. He talked to reporters today, and I don't think you'll see a huge change in his demeanor because he's a pretty even-keeled guy. You don't see him throwing a fit very often. You don't see him providing really insightful, in-depth interviews and questions in press conferences. You see pretty much the same guy all the time, and I've always said that's fine. But the results will speak for the coach. And 51-27 is not an acceptable result. And 4 losses in a row is not an acceptable result. And being an under 500 team at all times when you're the head coach is an unacceptable result. And that's what it's been the entirety of Dennis Allen's time. You wish that there would be a little bit of a different story being written from an injury perspective, but we've covered that time and time and time again. No one cares. You put a roster together, you put a team together, and you go out there and you execute. And New Orleans, for a month now, hasn't done it. If you're looking for your Saints coverage, you can find it on YouTube, Hunt on Saints. Hey, it's Hunt. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button. Leave your comments in the section below and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.